Hey guys, before we get into today's topic, I wanted to apologize for my voice in the video. I sound slightly different than normal because I had a head cold over the past few days. Still, I've been working hard to bring you a ton of content, including this piece of news that I was eager to share with you, the viewers. Having said that, let's get into it. So, in a recent interview, done via video chat, with talk show host Howard Stern, he had none other than Emily Blunt on as a guest. The actress was asked a few questions regarding some of the projects she was set to star in, like Iron Man 2, which she ultimately passed on, and the role of Black Widow went to Scarlett Johansson. To this date, this is one of those what-if casting choices for an actor in a comic book role. We've had plenty of actors lined up to play a part that they personally passed on in favor of other opportunities, or due to scheduling conflicts, the actor had to drop out of the role, even though they were eager to play the parts. Blunt went into why she had to drop out of the project, despite being the frontrunner. She was contracted by 20th Century Fox Studios to do Gulliver's Travelers, as a favor for the studio for giving her a part in The Devil Wears Prada, a film that made her a breakout star and put the actress on the road to stardom in Hollywood, even with it being her second feature film. It was an agreement that was more of a hindrance for the actress, as she wasn't keen on a role in Gulliver's Travelers, but being a professional, she stuck it out and gave her best, even in a lackluster movie. There was also talk about her role in Edge of Tomorrow, a film where Blunt showcased she was more than capable to play an action star. Blunt even states it was one of her harder roles to date because of the physicality required for the role. She had to get in shape, learn fight choreography, and even get involved in doing a number of her own stunts for the film. Still, with the amount of work she had to put into playing her character, she had a blast working alongside Tom Cruise. The action sequences was one of the standouts, other than the time-traveled storyline. Blunt was fantastic in the film, and her performance was enough for people to want her to have a starring role in a Marvel Studios movie. Before Captain Marvel was cast, she was one of the names floating around to play the part. But in the end, it was only a rumor, and the part went to Brie Larson. But the rumors and the fan casting never stopped. Fans were still eager to see her in something, and the next big role that became an option, especially since Disney had bought 20th Century Fox and everything the studio had owned, including the rights to the Fantastic Four, which reverted back to Marvel Studios. It didn't take long for reports to circulate the internet that Blunt and her husband, John Krasinski, who starred alongside his wife, who the former Office actor, directed in his directorial debut, A Quiet Place, a film that paired up both actors for the first time together on screen. It was easy to see why they would make the perfect couple to play Reed Richards and Sue Storm. This would be both their opportunities to make up for losing out on huge roles in the past. Krasinski also lost out on playing a pivotal role in the MCU as Captain America. So back to that interview, and Emily Blunt finally addresses the fan casting rumors. Sadly, the actress makes it clear that she has little interest in comic book movies, as she finds the genre to be exhausted, and even points out that they are everywhere now, not just on the big screen, but also on television. I understand where she's coming from. There are many people who believe comic book movies are oversaturating the market. 10 years ago, it wasn't common to see as many comic book movies as we do within a year, or even on TV, which has become the second home for the genre to thrive. That doesn't even include the streaming market, where Disney and their competitors, Amazon and Netflix, are releasing their own shows based on comic book properties. You can't blame the industry for banking on something that is in demand. Everyone has their own personal taste in books, clothes, and in this case, movies. To her, it's not something that she gets excited about, like us fans who can't get enough of the genre. Some of us live and breathe for comic book content, and for other people, it's not that important, and that's okay. We are all different for a reason. The actress also expressed that she would have liked to work with Robert Downey Jr., since she enjoyed Iron Man. So she definitely doesn't hate comic book movies, even though she says the genre makes her feel cold. Perhaps the biggest indication that Blunt would be willing to star in a comic book movie in the future is her giving us fans hope by saying she would play a superhero if it meant playing a really cool character, meaning that if the project was right for her, she would definitely consider signing up to play the part. That's the glimmer of hope we need, because even though Blunt mentions that she hasn't gotten a call from a studio, whether it be Marvel Studios, Warner Brothers, or Sony Pictures, she could get a call at any time in the future, and I'm sure she will agree to a meeting and hear the studio's pitch for her role. She was in talks with Marvel Studios a while back for Black Widow. Even though that fell through, it doesn't mean that she wouldn't be in consideration for something else, or that the studio have given up on working with the actress. Emily Blunt is an amazing talent that is just waiting for the right project to come along and get her excited over. It's good to see that she doesn't just do films because they are just a paycheck for her. She has to have an emotional attachment to the proposed project. I feel like after hearing that, and just some of her views on various things Stern asked her in the interview, I have even more respect for the British actress. Some people will watch this interview and think she's just being mum about her role in the upcoming Fantastic Four reboot, because they believe it's a done deal already. Maybe she's on the contract not to speak about her part until it is officially announced. While that could be the case, I think her comments seem to be genuine. She doesn't hesitate once to answer any of the questions that Stern asks. In fact, she's happy to share what's on her mind. While I feel like both Blunt and Krasinski are a good fit for the proposed roles, they are far from being the only actors capable of taking on the parts. I'll keep my fingers crossed, but at the same time, I'm not banking on the couple to be the frontrunners. There's so many other talented actors out there who can be just as good, if not better. It all depends on the type of film Marvel is putting together and what they are looking for in the talent they choose to lead their film. There's so much that goes into casting for a movie. Sometimes it could be a case where the studio just wants a certain actor for the part because that's who they envision to be the perfect person to fully realize their creation. So when writing the script, they write it with that actor in mind. Other times it's just a case of finding someone who can look the part, but more importantly, they have a presence and give a performance that brings something completely different to the role as it's written on the script. They can present a unique take that offers the filmmaker something completely new, that transcends how the role was originally meant to be played. Fan casting is fun, and I'm sure Emily Blunt is flattered by the idea, and maybe she has discussed it with her husband. Maybe they both like the idea, because it's a huge opportunity to do something that both actors have yet to do in their career. Emily already has a working relationship with Disney, where she's had 3 starring roles in films like Into the Woods, Mary Poppins Returns, and finally her upcoming movie based on an actual theme park attraction at Disneyland, Jungle Cruise, where she is set to star alongside The Rock. Given that the studio keeps casting her in these major projects, she's definitely someone they enjoy working with. So come on Disney, Marvel Studios, give her a call and make her an offer she can't refuse. Blunt strongly expresses her interest in having a hand in the creative process and wants to be a producer on future projects she's set to star in. She has ideas and will do rewrites to scenes if necessary. I'm not sure that's something that Marvel Studios will give the actress. They never give any of the actors involved in their films a producer's credit. But the studio is more than open to working hand in hand with actors to get the best results possible out of their performance and for the overall film. Actors have been allowed to improvise and change lines of dialogue / scenes. So, she would be welcome to get involved as much as necessary. Regardless if she does end up playing Sue Storm in the upcoming Fantastic Four movie or another character, whatever the film she is attached to star in, I'll be there to watch it. So what are your thoughts on the interview? Do you believe that Emily Blunt isn't going to be in consideration for Fantastic Four? Let me know in the comments below. By any chance you haven't seen it, I've linked it in the video description below, so check it out. Anyways folks, that's all for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. Please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment below. And hey, maybe this wasn't your cup of tea. And that's okay. Just remember to take care and stay safe.